What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to pick a lock using a paper clip. Let's do this. So the aim of the game is there's a whole row of pins up on top that you guys can see. Okay, these pins are all cut at different heights. So what that does is that locks that barrel in place and doesn't allow it to turn. So what you have to do is simply bump up all these pins in line in order to be able to turn that barrel. Okay, all we're going to do is simply bend this one here down like that. With the other one, we're just going to bend it out straight, all the way. Once we've got it straight, we're going to bend the two to meet each other and just fold that down. Next thing you want to do is you want to put that loop down the bottom section of your padlock, bend it all the way across, and now you've got your tensioning tool. Using your finger, we're going to hold it in place and we're going to keep tension on there. Tension on, and then just keep breaking it. You just continue to keep breaking those pins until you feel it give way. Once that's done, bang, nice and easy. So now we've got our lock picking tools ready to go. What we're going to do now is test out the lock, make sure everything's in working order. This one here is a brand new lock, so everything should be working fine. And we'll get started. There we have it, guys, nice and easy. Today I'm going to show you guys how to open up a door when the lock is faulty. So if we turn the lever here, doesn't do anything. The mechanism on the inside is faulty, and for that reason the latch is stuck inside the strike plate. Okay, let's get straight into it. Let's do this. So once again, guys, the door is closed. It doesn't work. The latch is faulty. We're going to take our shim. I'll try to show you guys a bit of a close-up. So what I'm going to do is take it with one hand, push that in where the latch would usually go. So sliding between the door jamb and the door, jiggle that around, wiggle it through until we push the latch out of the way, and you can see there it simply pops it open, guys. Nice and easy little trick. I'll see if I can do it with a little credit card. Do the exact same thing. Line it up with the strike plate here. Push it through as much as we can. Now this one here is a little bit thicker than the door shims, so it's going to be a little bit harder, but hopefully we'll still be able to get the exact same result. Push it through, wiggle that up and down. And there we have it, guys, nice and easy. James Bond would be impressed. Today I'm going to show you guys how to pick a combination padlock using a paper clip. Let's do this. What we're going to do is we're going to take our paper clip, put it down inside that hole as far as we can get it. And then what we're going to do is just simply tap. You can hear that tapping noise. What's happening is the paper clip is tapping against that first wheel. And what we're going to do is turn those wheels one by one, click it over, and wait for that paper clip to drop down the next level. So what we're looking for is a gateway or an opening that's in those wheels themselves. Those openings or those gateways actually allow the shackle to open and close. So we need to find the sequence first. So if we tap on the top, and then we'll click these wheels one by one. And we've got that one to drop one level. We'll try again on the second wheel. And we've got that one to drop down another level. Last wheel to go. And we've got that one there dropped. So now that we've got that, this isn't the actual combination here. So what have we got? We've got 3, 4, 5. This isn't the combination that we've got here. The way we have to look at it is the paper clip that's gone all the way down that back side of the lock has found the gateway in this line here. So that means this is the current sequence of the code. However, what we need to do is now that we've got the gateway on the back of the lock, we need to move these wheels over so that we've got the gateway on the side of the shackle. That's what allows the shackle to move up and down through that gateway. So what we have to do is count the numbers over to the side of the body. So what we do here is the line that we previously found was this one here. So if we count over 1, 2. So you can see on the second one there, if that'll focus in time, the second number is in line on the left side of the lock. Third number is on the right side of the lock. So it's usually either the second or third click. So what we'll do is we'll click these wheels over twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we'll try and open up that lock. Doesn't open, so in this case here it must be the third click. Once again, give it that one extra click, and we've now got that lock open. So if we have a look at the front here, the code on this one here was 012. Today I'm going to show you guys how to remove the security tag from your clothes without causing any damage to it whatsoever. Let's get straight into it. Let's do this. So what we're going to do is take our kitchen knife and we're going to basically line this one here up, and we're going to just cut all the way through this top round section here. And if you have a look very closely here, that's the spring, the top cap that I've just cut off, and inside here is the little mechanism that I was talking about. So once again, I'm going to take my knife. You can see there the little pin poking through the other side. I'm just going to pull these little pieces out slowly, one by one. That's one of the little mechanisms inside that hold this pin into place. And if we have a closer look inside now, you'll be able to see those ball bearings. So you can see there we've got 4 ball bearings. So I'm going to flip this one here up, upside down. Remove those ball bearings out. You can see there it's still a little bit wedged in, so I'm just going to quickly take off the pressure. And once that's done, guys, it can then be removed. Nice and easy. I'll take off the back end, which is the pin side. And there we have it, guys. Hopefully this is going to help you guys out, save you a trip from having to go to the store. So what we're going to be using is an old blade that I've got from my oscillating multi-tool. As you can tell when I pull the trigger, you can see the vibration. The way it oscillates up and down is exactly the same as you'd get when you buy a professional lockpicking gun. So we're going to take advantage of this blade. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to cut this down and turn it into the shape of a lockpick. Perfect. And then we're going to take our new handy dandy DIY lockpicking tool. This is the first time we're going to try this. Put a little bit of tension on the tensioner. That is too easy. Too easy, guys. What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to remove broken keys out of any lock in your house. It's very, very simple. We're going to start off with the professional method of removing the keys, and then we're going to move down to a few different ways that we can use household items to remove these keys out. Let's do this. So the first thing we're using is the professional broken key extractor. So all it is basically a thin piece of wire, and you can see the barbs there on the end up against the yellow. So all we do with this is you want to find the size that'll fit through the keyhole, so as I've got right there. So it's very, very thin, down through the keyhole, making sure we don't push that key in too far. Okay, and what we want to do in this case, slide it down along the side of the key, and then you want to simply pull back. As the barbs start to bite onto the teeth, you'll see that it starts to pull the key out. And at this point, I've almost got it out. Once you've done that, you can then remove the key. So what I'm going to use next is a whole range of different household items to remove this broken key. First thing on the list is a basic set of tweezers. Now everybody has tweezers at home. If not, they're very, very cheap and accessible to get your hands on. So with the tweezers, we just want to be careful not to push the key in any further than we've already got it. So all you want to do with a very, very steady hand, we want to try and bite onto that key as I just did. And there you have it. Key removed. So once again, we'll push the key right in. This time what we're using is just a household screw. The whole purpose of this is to try and get the threads that are on the screw to bite onto the key. So what we want to do is get a pair of pliers. We want to hold onto the end of the screw just like that. Okay, and all we want to do is simply try and put the tip of the screw between the key and the keyhole, and we want to give it a couple light turns. So just enough to get it to bite. And then once we do that, we want to try and pull straight back as hard as we can. And the key simply pops out. So the next thing we're going to use is a basic household knife. So making sure that we've got a nice sharp point on the end, that's the most important part. Usually you can get away with using just one knife and pulling this key out, but however you might actually end up needing to use two knives. So we'll try and get it out with one knife and see how we go. So all we want to do is just simply lodge that in as far as we can and then flick that back out as I've just done. So you can see there that I've actually removed that with the one knife. Nice and easy. However, if it was in too far and we were struggling with the one knife, so rather than putting just one knife on one side, what we would do is try and slot in a knife on either side. So using a knife on either side, push up against the body of the lock, and we're going to pull that key out just as I'm doing right now. Once again, we can do that again, pulling it out slowly until we've completely removed the key. What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today we've got an interesting video, and that's how to open up a combination padlock when you don't know what the code is. So a lot of people tend to forget what the code is, or you might have an old padlock like this one here sitting around your house and you're not sure what the code is. So today I'm going to show you guys how to figure out what the old code was. So let's just shuffle this one here up. I'll try and click all of them in position. Pull that shackle out, close it, and then re-scramble the lock. So now we've got a lock that we don't know what the code is. First thing we need to do, line all of these up. Any number, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's straight in line with that line here. What we're going to do next is pull on the shackle. We're going to apply a little bit of tension, and what that does is that causes these wheels to bind up just a little bit so that you can feel some sort of feedback from the wheels. You can also hear the difference in the clicks. You might find a bit of resistance in the wheels, and at the same time you might see the shackle moving back and forward just slightly. So let's apply a little bit of tension by pulling on the shackle, pushing it away from the body of the lock, and we want to start on either side. So I tend to find the most amount of tension will be on the furthest wheel away. So we'll start on this one here, clicking it over one by one very slowly. We want to listen and feel for any kind of difference or feedback that comes from that wheel. It tends to usually come right before the click. So I felt that move just slightly on the 4, so I'll leave this one where it is. We'll move on to the next one. Possible feedback on number 2, so we'll leave that one and move on to the next one again. And I just felt that shackle move. So we'll leave this one where it is. We'll go back to the start and double check again. So back on number 4. This now has binded up. So what that happens is once you've got a bit too much pressure on here, the wheel will actually bind up. So what you need to do, take the pressure off the shackle, move that number back, reapply the tension, and check the numbers again. So once again, take that pressure off. Once again, the feedback is back on the number 4. We'll try the middle one. I felt that move slightly. We'll leave that on the 7. Go back to the start. Does take a bit of time, but that's part of the fun. Leave that one on the 5, go back here. Back on the 2. Very constant feedback on this one here on the 4. So I'm pretty sure this one here is the 4. Could be the first one that's wrong. And there we have it. So that code there was 574, and we've now cracked this code. What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to remove a Euro cylinder lock from your door when it's in the closed position. We don't have the keys. It's also locked. We've got a viewer out there who's a little bit stuck. He's got a similar problem. No keys, doors in the locked position. So by having it in the locked and closed position, that means we don't have access to the locking screw at the back of the Euro cylinder. Previously, I've shown you guys how to do this when it's in the open position, but a very good question, a very common problem to have misplaced your keys when the door is actually in the locked position. I've come across so many times. People try and put screwdrivers down the back in between the door here, and also try and pry it out with a crowbar. They do a lot of damage, and majority of the time they don't even open up the door. So today I'm going to show you guys just how easy it is to do. We're going to remove this one here, open up the door, and then replace it with the new Euro cylinder lock. Let's do this. So first thing we need to do is remove the cover plates. This one here is one on the inside, one on the outside. So we remove that screw. I'll go to the back of the door and also remove the one on the back here. Same thing from the outside. Remove the cover plate. And then we'll come back inside and remove the cover plate off this side also. So what we're going to use is a pair of multi-grips. If you haven't got some multi-grips, you can use also an adjustable wrench. You just want to lock this up over onto the top of the cam and make sure that's nice and tight. So in this case, we're going to be using some multi-grips. All you want to do, bite onto the side here, get a nice good grip, and then we're just going to bend it back towards the back of the door. So we'll just hold on to that, bend it back, and you can see there that's now cracked. What we're going to do now is we're going to focus on this side here. Once again, multi-grips on, and we're going to go in the opposite direction this time. So once again, a little bit of pressure in the opposite direction, and that's now come off. You can see there we've got a clean cut right down the middle. The only thing left inside now is the cam and also the locking screw. So a bit of a close-up for you guys. You can see the screw up here. That's our locking screw. And then we've got our cam down the bottom. So what we're going to do now, once again, feed that cam out, push it out the other side. Once it wants to turn around, that's now pushed out the other side, and that's all clear. Now we take a flathead screwdriver, and usually you can unlock it from the locking mechanism here. However, because we locked this one here with the key prior to removing this Euro cylinder, we need to mimic the movements of the cam. So if we have a look down the bottom here, there's a little black pin. If this will focus for you guys, you can see that black section at the back, silver pin down the bottom. We're going to push that black section in, and then just simply push down on the silver bit. You can hear that little click, and now we've opened up the locking mechanism here. So we take our screwdriver up onto the top now. This is usually where our lever would be. Turn that over, and the door's going to open up. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I've helped most of you out there out. So as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Bill's How To.